sorry about everything just falling apart during Corpus earlier. Really don't know why that happened entirely still. It is related to the other crashes. I can tell you that one for free, guaranteed. Which is also why we didn't just resume playing it. I'm gonna tinker with things and figure that out going forward. Because I do still intend to cover that game if I can, just I need to figure out why it had a weird moment earlier. But for now, we'll go with some Dragon's Dead, as you can see on the screen right now. Because I like this game. And it has had a few things change. That I would like to try out, because I haven't actually played the game in a little bit. One of the things is they changed the animations around for the attacks, which is a good thing. It kind of needed them. They also changed... what was it that they changed? I know they added some more legendaries, which is great. I think there's a new skill or two? No, it's not actual new skills, it's things that are tied to those new legendaries, that's right. Right, Brain is kind of in shambles. Oh yeah, we can salvage things over here. That's a new thing. That's a quest item, ignore that. Now, I am going to be rusty as hell with this game, because I haven't played, I think, since the last time I streamed this, so that's fun. That seems like a good one to have. We'll take that. I believe something was changed with the Gambler. Like, I think he got, like, better odds of something, perhaps? Oh yeah, it looks like he can roll legendaries now. I don't think he could do that before. So that's cool. That's always nice. Unfortunately, some of the things I'm remembering are blurring with other games, because I've been keeping track of a lot of games updates, as you might imagine, so brain go burr. We are still on Nightmare. I'm not sure I should do a Nightmare run right now, but at the same time our gear is probably a little good for normal. Then again, did we ever finish normal per se? I know we got pretty far. I think we ended a normal run. You know what, we'll go in on Nightmare. If I get my ass beat, we will just reset and try again. It'll be fine. But like, I think all the different elemental swords and such have different animations and things like that now. Which right now we have the Advanced Dancing Flame on. So we'll go Fire Sword for run 1. Since our primary goal today is just to have fun and do stuff, it's not really any specific goal in mind right now. And with the crashing and everything earlier, I certainly wasn't about to just boot up Sigma Star Saga, because I'm already not in the best headspace after the issues, so I wasn't about to annoy myself. There's a certain irony to the crash that happened, by the way. Considering, right before that, I had tested 7 Days to Die because, you know, we are still potentially going to have that 7 Days to Die server running again tomorrow. And it ran really well. Like, way better than it used to. Ooh, thanks to the new equipment. So to go from running better to a hardware failure, or at least a potential hardware failure, really is a fucked up split, you know? Well, I should say, no, it isn't probably a hardware failure, it's more likely a software failure. It's the same, like, driver timeout issue I was having before that I thought I fixed, but apparently is not completely fixed. But yeah, you'll note, like, for example, the weapon we have here just has attack power now. For those that were paying attention back when we were playing before, there used to be a split between magic and physical damage. That is no longer the case. Some things will still say physical percentages and such, but that doesn't exist anymore. I think physical damage now only really, like, applies to attack power that isn't fire, cold, or lightning. If it still applies at all. Since there is still magical and physical percentage bonuses, that's probably how that works. With that in mind, I was considering the goose statue, but since I'm warming back up, let's just take something simple like the Aesthetics Vow and just go rip and tear. Which, if I was gonna do that, I probably should have went Berserker, but it's fine. And that's why I didn't heal, for those wondering, is I was pretty confident we'd be able to kill enough to gain a level and be absolutely fine. We don't have any keys, so that's dead to me. I thought I saw you run off this way. And for those that don't remember, I have to kill everything in a stage to continue, so that's why I went and pursued the enemy that ran and forward trying to hit me. Is we have to kill all of them. Every last one of them must die. In the case of most of these, die again, because they are the undead. Give me an advanced soul gem. As my usual logic applies of this will help the run go farther, which will then net us more currency by default. That's not always true, and I acknowledge that there's no guarantee that this will actually be true. But it's always the logic I... Well, that's good timing. Hey there, Spooky. Hey, thank you for the raid. What were you up to today? Thank you for bringing your community over. Hopefully you are all doing well. Hello. Nice. Was it a regular Minecraft stream today, or did you mod the game? Either way, hopefully you had a good time. Apologies if I seem a little off. We're just coming back off of a crash from a little while ago. Ah, nice. Any particular mod pack? Ah, nice. Do I want the food? No, I don't think I need the food. Lightning won't really pair with any of that. Oh, I don't think I've seen that one. I think I can safely assume what'll be in it to a certain degree based on that name, but I might need to look into that one. Plague Synergy or Magic Rampage? With Spellblade, I'll take Magic Rampage. To explain for those coming in, the purpose behind that is the synergies that are over here on the left. We now have a guaranteed point towards this set of effects over here. And as we find more artifacts, that will apply to these synergies on the side. And they'll be very important to keeping us alive, since I'm playing on the high... I don't know if Nightmare's the highest or just higher, but I'm rusty and still playing on a higher difficulty, so it may backfire on me horribly. It's a thing. 2 more potions or armor and resistance. More potions. But Spooky, you do make sure to take care of yourself with all the usual after stream care and everything. And I once again have to appreciate you bringing people over. There we go. Rip through him. Just play keep away as much as I can, because on this difficulty, if I get touched, I'm gonna have a bad day. More so than normal. Still don't have any keys. Oh, there's an elite over there somewhere, isn't there? Sure is. You, sir, need to stop it with your magical nonsense. I don't approve. Oh, hey, conveniently we found a key during that. Well, that's convenient. I was just about to comment on the fact that there's a chance for chests to give legendaries now, and, well, good news! The chest gave a legendary immediately. And I think that might be one we don't have. I know I looked at making that, but I don't remember if I ever actually did. So that's neat. Hello, Char. Do you now? That is fantastic. I assume you just got that in today, considering how excited about it you are. And hopefully all's well. Hey, sometimes quality over quantity. You don't have to be like me, just throwing whatever comes to mind up on your emote list. I'll go ahead and grab a Sleep Slash and then keep pushing Sword of Fire up. Yeah, his Sword of Fire was the thing that's affected by our legendary sword. Knife. Legendary pokey thing. Thing that makes stab and make thing not live no more. Yeah. Alright, Char, have a good walk. Appreciate you popping in and sharing the emote. Sometimes word choice happens, and I will not I will not hide my word choice. There we go. Get right on out of all that. Ha, you thought you were ambushing me, but you were the one ambushed. She casually slaps me in the face for that. You know what? That's fair. I probably deserved that. Do I want fire amplification? Yes, that's the one I do like, actually. That gives me a fire aura and makes all my fire damage higher, so generally a safe choice. Gold on level up's really good. I don't know if I actually want intelligence as much as I used to, because they changed how the stats work. Yes, it still does all skill damage for us, so yes, give me that. It also starts getting us toward talent, which is something I'm not super familiar with having, but it is a useful thing in this game. Time to cut down a tree. As you can see, it's got kind of a infestation of blood that it's not supposed to have. Drink the potion. Wait it out. Because I am no longer on my shit completely with my reflexes for this game anymore, so I'm gonna play it a little safer than I usually do. Because you can definitely just full aggro your way through this fight and win it pretty handily, but only if you've got your dodge timing for especially that big skull field down. But between my timing being a little off for the skull field and these spike tendrils, I'm not really about to gamble today. Ow, ow, no, don't hit me a third time, please. Okay, that almost went badly, but we got through it. Darkness cleansed. And we got... Ooh, Warden of Electrocution. That's one of the new ones, I think. That is a legendary talisman. 31 attack power, which is better than our current one, though we lose a bunch of strength. And it's only particularly good if I have jolt effects going. It is a really good one, though, so I'm definitely going to keep that on hand. I'm just not going to use it right now. Though if we find an artifact that gives me jolt, I might put it on. And just accept the fact that my strength's gonna be deleted. The good news is strength I don't think is super useful for the Spellblade. It's more useful than it used to be because the stats got merged. Yeah, it's good for armor and nothing else still, so never mind. Losing strength wouldn't actually be that bad a thing. That would put us down to 7 strength to match our 5 vitality. Which is a little sad, but you know, you can tell which stats I value on that line. You know what, we'll give it a shot. If it backfires on me, it backfires on me. And we gain some more dexterity, which is a stat I do actually value. Because that raises our dodge and critical chances. It keeps mentioning the Revenant, so maybe the Revenant is implemented? I still have not seen proof that that character exists. But I hope they do, because both the Berserker and the Spellblade have been really fun to play, and I'm looking forward to more classes for this game. Which is part of why I'm pushing forward on Nightmare. And the fact that there's more dialogues popping up means I might actually be progressing something by progressing on Nightmare. We have 2 synergies for Beast. We have Element, Momentum, Talent, Satiation, and Magic Rampage. I don't have all of these in memory anymore. I used to when I was playing this a lot. I may as well take this one because this is the only one we get any Beast synergy from at the moment. A fun thing about these skill points you can buy in here, by the way, for those who've come in from the raid or haven't seen this game before, this actually lets you go beyond the skill cap of any of these skills. Like, you'll notice there's this +1 here. We would essentially have 6 points in this skill instead of 5 if we max this out now. It's nice that way. You don't get those points back when you reset with the Censer of Oblivion here, though. You gotta keep that in mind. You do get half the money, as you see there. Though I don't think I've ever used it, now that I think about it. Because usually I'm setting myself up based on whatever legendary I'm using at the time. So I usually don't mid-run change. Even if sometimes the entire setup tells me to be something else. These things are scary. If they grab you with their claw, you're stuck there until it's done grabbing. And as you might imagine, on Nightmare, it hurts a lot. Word to the wise, don't let them grab you. Crazy concept, I know. Don't get hit, but highly recommended here. These explosive guys aren't so bad, because you can kind of just play keep away from them. There's another elite, this time with laser bars. It's kind of fun how all these elites have different, like, attack effects they can get. Some of them also just have passive effects when they, like, strike you with their regular moves and things like that. Like, I believe this guy's a poison one? Thankfully, I can just kind of play the haha I'm annoying and just jump back and forth around him until he dies game. Whew. We need to spend one more skill point to get up here. And then we can start getting fun things like Vortex Slash and Rain of Fire, both of which I'm probably going to put a point into. Which is why I didn't grab Ball of Fire, is I was saving space. Yes, make Leap Slash cheaper. Which, fun thing to note about that tier where Rain of Fire and such are, those don't take mana. Those are purely cooldown based. The only mana using abilities are typically your tier 2s, and your tier 1's usually your primary means of generating mana. And then everything else operates on cooldowns, which are usually fairly lengthy ones, so that's worth keeping in mind. There we go. And this may seem really easy, but that's because I actually have gear that's correct for Nightmare difficulty. When we came here as a test before, I got obliterated on sight instantly. Huh. Gains 99% less final gold, gains 1,000% more experience. So I give up making money anymore. I gain no gold. Which means shops become pointless to me, because I will never be able to afford anything with 99% less gold. 1,000% more experience, though. I don't think I actually want that. I'm tempted by that, but I don't think I want that. I do want this, though. A 50-50 chance to jolt enemies after we just got that legendary that applies chain lightning when we jolt things. So we basically have a 50-50 chain lightning chance on our basic attacks now. This is ridiculous, and I'm so here for it. Something I should note, though, if it hasn't made itself quite apparent already based on the way this place looks, mild gore warning going forward. It is going to get bloodier as we go further in some places. This place in particular is one of the worst places as far as that goes, though there are some grotesque enemies in one of the later sections as well. So those of faint stomachs may want to be advised. I know, real wild concept there, but just making sure people have the idea in their mind on that one. His Wii won't cause much gore, but boy, there's gonna be a mess. Like, the worst we'll do is make a little bit of blood splatter around. They will do far worse at times. Oh yeah, that's worth noting as well. You probably saw that electrocuted immunity pop up. Electrocuted is actually kind of a stun in this game, and after a bit, they just become immune to it for a little while, so they can't just be chain stunned. It's a thing. Go ahead and give me Vortex Slash first. Speed. But as you can see, it just goes on a 7-second cooldown, and I will be able to immediately use it again afterwards. At no cost to me. And there are ways to almost make that have no cooldown at all. But I of course would need to get the right things for it. Which I forget if that's a level thing or an item thing. It's been too long. Attack speed and power, always good. Dexterity and crit chance, life and max resources. This will get me the first tier of talent, so I want this. Which, it's important to keep in mind, I only have 3 slots for artifacts left. But the reason why I want talent is we get more stats on every level. Thus meaning our stats are going to scale much better. I forget if you lose them if you lose the synergy for talent. But oh yeah, and if you don't like spiders, this is about to be bad. As you might imagine from Spider Nest, it's a spider. Just a warning on that one. Just a big old meat and metal spider. Who also just really did a number on my health right there, because I wasn't paying enough attention. I'm used to getting away with just sitting there and ripping him apart. But I gotta remember, this is the Nightmare version. He hits a lot harder. He already hit really hard in the standard difficulty. But he hits way harder now, and I'm out of potions. This could actually go really badly. I'm gonna have to actually be more careful. As in not what I just did. Some of my timing is coming back, and not enough of it. Because of course, timing has to kick in the second I say that. One would almost think I did that on purpose. Unfortunately, no, I didn't. I don't think we have enough resources to go make any more legendaries or anything, so we'll just go back. If I went to the left, there's a smith in that void place that lets me make legendary items. Attack speed and experience, that'll be great. Let's change it up, shall we? Which of these are actually any good at the moment? Now, I did have a Blade of Frost, but I think the one we just picked up is better? Gold gain and dexterity, lightning damage and strength. That's kind of an either or, actually. And unfortunately, I don't have a good lightning weapon right now. Like, the lightning striker does more damage than the dancing flame, but it's slower, so it's probably gonna balance out. And the lightning strike bonus is great, but we actually need to get up to the right level to be able to use lightning strike. I'll go ahead and try to do it. I need to exit the menu to equip it. There we go. And the way this storage looks may make it look like I've been playing this game a lot. I actually have not played too much. You get a legendary, or at least you used to get a legendary from every boss fight. So boss fights were pretty easy, just sit there and grind legendaries on. And then there was also legendary crafting you could do. They changed the legendary crafting a little bit now, in that you have to, as far as I can tell, grind down legendary stuff to make these red shards instead. Which is probably for the best, because it was a little cheap and cheerful to make legendary items, because you just needed the right runes and some currency. And boss fights also gave runes, so basically you just continuously would run the bosses over and over again to get whatever it is you wanted. Which is pretty par for the course, all things considered, but you know, it could be better. Oh yeah, and for those picking the game up, you will want to speak to this one over here as often as you can, because they make your potions better, including carrying more of them by default. I think you start with the ability to only carry like 1 or 2 potions. That's an interesting bug. I would like to draw people's attention up to my minimap for a moment. See that potion following me around? That's not supposed to do that. Just in case anybody was wondering. That's not supposed to be following me around like a lost puppy. That's... Well then. Anyway, we're just not gonna worry about that any further. I'll make sure to send that clip to the devs later. It's not a big bug, but it's just like, huh, that's a thing. I mean, I like the potion too. The potion is my best friend. Also, notice our basic attack animation changed completely when we changed weapon types. Because they finally added those in fairly recently. It used to be every weapon had the same animations. Now there's more of a reason to use different weapon types. Which is always good. Variety is the spice of life, after all. There we go. Get rid of him. Grab the lightning sword, because that's the path we're going on this time. We don't have a triple hit because that's not what the weapon we have does this time. But we will get the benefit of the legendary talisman immediately, since lightning sword does apply jolted. And there we go. And lightning is very potent in this game. Like, lightning, I want to say, is usually the one I aim for if I'm trying to go far. It's either lightning or fire, usually. Ice has good control, but its damage output is kind of stink. Hey there, ABC, how's it going? I see you've noticed Char's new emote there. Go. We have no actual skills to use yet, so just keep on chopping. There we go. I did debate trying to do more runs of Shadow of the Ninja Reborn today instead of doing this after her corpus crashed, but this seemed like a better idea to not strain myself. Which is a weird thing to consider when I'm playing on a higher difficulty. But it's still less effort, I would say, than trying to beat Shadow of the Ninja. Yeah, we still don't have a key for that box. I don't know why I went up there. Oh, right, curiosity. That would probably be it. What a concept. Being curious about things. Club. I want that one. Buy a key. I always make sure to buy at least one key to make sure that I can open any boxes I encounter. Because the drop rate for keys isn't terrible, but I always prefer to just have one on hand. This would be good, except for the fact that we don't have the critical rate to make that likely yet, so I'm gonna save my money. technically getting 2 out of 3 assassinations a good thing because it'll start raising that critical chance. But I wasn't intending on building crit rate this go around, though we kind of are getting a crit rate build handed to us a little bit. So maybe I should go for it, though no, because the Brazier itself doesn't actually benefit from crits at all, so we'll hold off for the moment. I will buy Lightning Sphere, because that actually gets us a skill early. That's fantastic. Lightning Sphere also happens to be a pretty good skill, from what I recall. But we'll figure that out when we find some enemies to hit. Fury Synergy, which would let me get Fury level 2. The problem is that's good with high attack speed, and we don't have that. Give me a reroll. You only get 1 reroll with him at all. There we go. Take the talent bonus. Talent is always a safe choice. But as you might expect, since this is a roguelite, we have to go through all of that territory over again every time. I'll take the health and resources. Armor is good to a point, but if with the max health we have, armor I don't think would matter much. Not with the degree of armor we can get. Yeah, the fun thing about Lightning Orb is it's an orb that just sits there and blasts things. So it's very good against bosses that stay still, for example. I forgot that the tier 2 lightning abilities aren't of the best. I'm gonna take Lightning Frenzy though, because it's the better choice. Though, speaking of not having attack speed, we kind of do now, but I don't think that apply. No, because Fury only applies to basic attacks, so that wouldn't have worked anyway. Slightly sad is no legendary, but that's fine. Can't expect to be getting legendaries out of every chest, after all. Because if every chest had legendaries, then what's the point of anything being legendary? Almost bled to death there, that would have been embarrassing. Now, the fun thing with Lightning Frenzy is I can spam it until I run out of mana. Which means that 4 attack actually is more like 16 attacks. X if you have the time to stay there. What does Fast Lightning do again? Oh yeah, that's just extra lightning bolts coming out of it. So it goes up from 15% to 35%. Sure. More or less a 1 in 3 chance of throwing extra lightning around. I'm down with that. I'm so not used to the slower basic attack now, after doing so many runs with the triple attacks. I mean, this is a legendary artifact. 30% attack power, 5% crit, 10% speed. Yeah, that seems like a winner to me. Nothing like incredible or interesting about it, but just across the board good. Oh right, you need to have like a ladder piece there in order to ledge grab. I forgot. I almost died to my own forgetfulness. Wouldn't be the first time. I wish it would be the last time. Oh, that's a bad elite to see right now. Just give him a lightning ball to play with and hope he goes home. Okay. Everything's fine. Mild concern was had, but everything is just fine. What's lightning amplification do again? Oh yeah, wait, didn't they change I think they changed the amplifications to all do damage auras now. Because they used to do different things, as I recall. And some of them weren't very good. But I guess that's why they would have been changed, to make them more equal and more worthwhile. Wait, no, it's the bonuses on them that were bad. And those are still there. Is like, gaining mana when things are hit with fire amplification really isn't much to write home about. It's good, but not exciting. Bolts of lightning every second are incredible by comparison. And 80% chance to chill enemies that are near you is kind of useful, not, like, incredible. Do I want that, or do I want Lightning Rush, or... actually... even more fast lightning when something's jolted. That's also a fair point. But I think I'll take Lightning Amplification, and then I'll turn around back there and focus Lightning Frenzy back up a bit. And then we'll grab Lightning Strike, because that's the one that works with our weapon. There we go. I thought there was one more guy, but I think he got caught by the orb. This is why you shouldn't ponder it too hard. Strength, armor, intelligence. We need that skill power boost, so skill power it is. Crab. Now to quickly cut down the tree again. It's always time for crab. Okay, that was just a minion summoning moment. That's fine. All you have to do is read the pattern of where those orbs are gonna go, and it's not so bad. Except when you get a bad pattern like that one, and you just bounce your face off of half of it. It is almost always better to be higher up when the skill pattern starts, because then you can just drop down afterwards, and a lot of them will be aimed too high to hit you. It gives you a lot more freedom to move. Now you'll notice the advantage to the chain lightning is just the fact that it's destroying most of the minions before they even have a chance to properly spawn. So we don't have to worry about them, like, at all. Yes, I know I'm low on resources. He's also low on life. There we go. And Longmore is no more once again. We have plenty of Chimera's Belief. Give me different legendaries, game. Come on. Play ball here. Is it a good Chimera's Belief, though? No. No, it isn't. Chimera's Belief is very good, because you'll notice it increases damage dealt by crit chance, which is very, very strong on when it works. And... it would actually be better than our Clara's Hood right now, actually. So I guess I'll make that trade, even though the bonus effects on this aren't great. 4 vitality is nothing. 8 skill damage is okay. But since we are kind of ending up building crit in some ways here, this will actually be beneficial. Note the fact that they hard cap critical chance at 75%, which is an interesting choice. It means you can't get guaranteed crit, which is probably a good thing. Because at one point I think you could, and crit builds were really scary. Which in most games, crit builds are scary when they work, so that's not really shocking news in any regard, I don't think. We won't be selling the legendaries because we want to grind them down. And for material, this one I'll take because it's 20% more attack power. It's hard to argue with. Yes, I think I do actually want to start building aggression. I don't really need the Fury bonus as we discussed. Actually, no, Fury doesn't work off of only basic attacks, so it does actually work. Okay. But you'll notice each tier of aggression takes a different bonus and adds it to our attack power. That's why I want aggression for this setup. Since we're going to have things like attack speed and critical chance in pretty high amounts. So we can take advantage of that. And we could just buy any of the other ones that are here too, but I don't want the other two that much. Arguably, I should be grabbing things like Oath of Pride to make myself a little more stable here on Nightmare difficulty. But when do I do the safe thing? Go ahead and get the extra level of Lightning Sphere. This is also why I die a miserable death when something sneezes in my general direction, but you know. Why not play risky? Risky is exciting. Until you die every 5 minutes, but we don't talk about those parts. There we go. Just put the orb in the hand. I really should just try to keep Lightning Amp up all the time, but I keep forgetting to use it, which is part of why I don't care for the amp skills that much. Because I've never been one for using like toggle skills and things like that have to be managed a lot. They can be very, very effective, and I have definitely used builds in some games that do make very heavy use of them. But as a general rule, I usually prefer to use just like a slew of active skills instead of things that need to be like meter managed and things like that. Ow, God, the fireballs. I was afraid of that. That's why I was unhappy to see that fire elite. I just didn't spot which one it was. So I was just chewing through whatever was near me and hoping I was going to find him before it was too late. Let's double check what we actually need to make things now. I don't know how the system changed. And I should have checked this before. Hey, big guy. Oh, there's a shredder here too. That's perfect. Because at the very least, I don't really want this Clara's hood anymore. But that's only going to get me one thing. The reason why I'm holding on to this Ruon's Will is read the orange text there. Armor is increased by 20% and all skill levels that are awarded are increased by 3 points. How I've been doing these Nightmare runs is I start with the high Paladin armor on, and then once I have a decent amount of skill points up, and in various skills, I put the Ruon's Will on. I lose the armor bonus, but I gain a ton of skill points, basically. And you just swing into having a bunch of boosted skills that make you very strong. Okay, yeah, these all take 10 to make. This does let us peek at some of the new legendaries, but I'm not going to do that. There's no fun in peeking at things and knowing what they do before we get them. But I do know which ones are new, like the Thunderbolt Throwing Hammer's new, the Hands of Blinding Speed, the Molten Hydra Armor I believe is new. And I'm just purposely not looking at them. We also can't make them anyway because we're missing the runes for them. So even if I had enough red shards, I wouldn't be able to make anything new. And there is value in remaking old things in the interest of being able to make better versions of them. But I'm not that worried about it right now. Do I stick with lightning since our secondary benefits lightning? I'm thinking I'll just keep on, like, cycling between elements just so you guys get to see the different elements. I don't think I ever used the Blade of Frost either, because I don't really use Frost Arrow, like, at all. So in the interest of doing something new, we'll use that right quick. I keep forgetting I can't equip things while I have this menu open. Which of these two do I want to use? Gold gain and dexterity, or strength and lightning damage? Since I'm going to keep the accessory that does things with lightning, we'll go ahead and use the lightning damage one. It's a shame to see that crit damage build go to heaven, but you know, it is what it is. Things go wrong. And of course, now we're back to the fast attacks because we're using a dagger again. Which I suppose I should have actually taken the axe just so you guys got to see the axe animation. Let me at least go pull it out. I'm gonna still use the Blade of Frost, I think. But this way you guys at least get to see the changed animation. Gotta show them things off. Because you've already seen the sword animation. Is the same as what the Lightning Striker had. As you can see, it's similar to the sword animation, but you can see actually that there's a fully formed, like, magic axe there, which is kind of neat. And they put in the work to make these animations, so I'm going to make sure people get to see them. Because that was all added after the fact. I am looking forward to when this game eventually goes to 1.0, because I really do think this is a good game. It needs polish in places, but what game doesn't really at this point in this day and age? I just gotta remember that I'm gonna be using ice now, so my damage output is probably gonna fall apart until I get later on. Because the early game ice damage is just not really great. Later on, depending on what setup you're using, ice can start to do some real serious damage, though I think that's actually on Glacial Split, which is not the thing we're gonna be using. So that might get awkward. I just jumped right into that. Why? Your guess is as good as mine. Sometimes just things happen. But yeah, our big thing right now is going to be we can slow enemies down, as you might imagine from ice. Sadly, no full stopping, but at least they slow down. Attack power and life. Magic rampage and satiation. At the rate I'm playing, Hot Blood might be a good idea. Especially here on Nightmare, though it would be a constant gamble. But it would be a good idea to get something like the Sensor of Dexterity now. Well, actually, no, because this game retroactively grants those things, I think, so it wouldn't matter if I got it now or later. But something like that, that gives stats on kill, is a good item to have. And since this is probably going to be a relatively fast attacking build because Arrow of Frost is a fast skill, because I believe it's a charge-based multi-attack thing. I believe we get a set of charges of Frost Arrow. And actually, because we get boosted attack power of critical hits with Sword of Frost too, so yes. We can try to bring the crit build back. If the game will give anything related to that to me, we'll see. The game might just completely say no to that idea, straight up. He's like, oh, you want to do critical hits, huh? How about the critically acclaimed hit of you fucking don't? Get back here. I went back over here because there was an item hiding under the potion that we can't use. I thought I'd grabbed the item and then I realized that the prompt for the potion was in the way. Something they seem to have fixed, by the way, is there used to be an issue where you would try to pick things up and you have to try multiple times to pick them up. It was always a little frustrating that way. An advanced soul gem would probably be better than an artifact. 12 strength, 20 mastery skill, 12 intelligence, 12 intelligence. So that gets our skill damage up. I was kind of hoping for the orange one because the orange one gives 2 skill points. And free skill points accelerates you in a very nice way. It's not necessarily the most powerful, because technically you haven't leveled to get those skill points, so you don't gain the benefits of leveling. So you still have to level back into that. But overall, it benefits you because it gets you to some of your skills they might need earlier. Magical powder keg, otherwise known as a stick of dynamite. This would have been really good on the fire run. Though technically, I could just use it to set things on fire in general. The problem is, holy oil is why I would have been very excited to see that during a fire run, because it makes burning effects do more damage. Luck's not bad, but not important. Actually, yeah, I should probably take the mysterious gold coin if I'm going to be actively chasing crit, because then we get gold when we critically hit, which will then feed into a bunch of other things for us. It's a real shame that I spent too much money, though, because now we can't get Glacial Cut or Glacial Splits super early. What is up with my words today? Like, I am especially a mess as far as words go today, apparently. Anyway. We'll just roll right on. Also, is it bad that I've actually been getting further than I expected to on Nightmare? Like, if that tells you how difficult Nightmare is in my mind, that I didn't expect to even get out of the first stage of Nightmare. I could go for elements. Oh, no. Half the time, if I say something, the opposite happens. But of course, you know, now that I've said that, now I've double jinxed it, and now everything's ruined. But that's fine. Sometimes I have to get a point out there. Again, this would have been really good to see on the other build. I mean, I may as well take this because it's on basic skill hit anyway. We just won't have any synergies with said Thunderbolts of Judgment. But I don't have any more rerolls for those 2 synergy points anyway, so it wouldn't get any better at this point. Hi, Guinevere. taking this by. There we go. Now we have the main skill we're going to be using. Choo. I guess they changed it back from being multiple charges. Unless maybe there was something else that made it multiple charges? I might just be remembering everything completely wrong at this point. Does seem reasonably effective now, though. It used to be that the individual hits from it weren't great, so it was often not a skill I would aim for because the other skill at this tier usually did better. But the AoE from all those spikes coming out is actually potentially going to be good. The only problem is it's not going to be as good against its initial target. And that's what has me a little worried, because it might not be very good against bosses. Okay, there we go. That's how it works. You can gain extra charges by critically hitting things, which again works into the crit build, so this is perfect. Yes, yes, yes. We need to go find the one guy that's hiding out down below. I see his icon on the minimap. Look at you hiding. Missed me. There we go. Don't have a key, so we can't open that. He thought he was gonna be safe. He didn't realize I had to kill everyone. Give me all them fire effects. Just passed up an elements synergy earlier. I could just turn one of these into money as well and just not even take any of them. But I'll go ahead and take the Chalice of Silence for now. Because the Flourish bonus isn't bad, it's just not one I usually reach for. Even though I'm all about trying different things, it just never seemed like it was something that would be super useful. Because I dash a lot, so it would be triggered decently often, just the actual bonus result never felt very impactful. It just kind of was one of those, yep, it's there, I guess. It's a thing. But like, especially now here on Nightmare with how much more I have to dodge on Nightmare. Flourish might actually be more important because the later on bonuses do give us dash cooldown. I think I'm gonna leave that off in favor of just continuing to lean into our primary move here. See how that works out for us this time instead of a bunch of different moves. Ooh, Abandoned Wooden Shield is actually better than you might think it is. Because it raises your whatever your highest stat is by 12, which is already nice. And it's a good way to get talent. And later on, you'll actually be destroying a decent amount of artifacts because you're going to run out of space for artifacts, so the stat growth on that's actually incredible. It'll be every blue and higher artifact. Oh no, blue artifact only. So yeah, we'll definitely take that one. It just seems kind of silly if you think about it just at face value that a broken wooden shield would be so valuable. These are magic talismans, not just what they look like they are. The talismans. No, not those. Even with that much crit rate, we seem to be getting a decent amount of results out of Charged Frost Arrow. Because you can see it pop up the text whenever it triggers. That was a bad one. I kept reacting to the wrong one of the skulls fairly consistently there. But this is one of the things I do like about this game, is whenever something goes wrong, you can pretty safely say you made a mistake, and that's how it happened. Which is how you can tell that this game is reasonably fair. Even though at face value, some parts of this may very much seem not fair. Like, especially here on Nightmare, just the sheer damage discrepancy between what I can do to him and what he can do to me. Though such things are usually the dynamic between a player and a boss enemy. Boss enemy does way more damage and has way more health, but is usually a static target like this, or something that is reasonably easy to consistently hit. There we go. Splooge. And what legendary did it give me? Oh, hey! The other... the other one that I was going to use. I guess I have both anyway. Funny how that works out. Is this one any good? It's not bad. Definitely does way more damage than the version we left behind, so there's that, too. I suppose there's a world in which we start the run using the one that boosts Frost Arrow, because Frost Arrow is an early skill, and since Glacial splits later, we switch into the Glacial Hit one. Zombie! Thank you for the raid, buddy. How you been? What were you up to today? Hopefully everyone's doing well. And welcome to me just powering through some Nightmare runs of Dragon is Dead and trying my best to hold it together, even though sometimes it's definitely been backfiring. Yeah, I'll buy a key. Nice, nice. The original Doom or one of the newer ones? Final damage reduction increased by 10%. Ah, okay. That is a good one. I think I'm actually gonna just buy skill points if I can. Except none of these are ice. Try again. That's better. Not the skill I'm looking for, but it is useful. One more time? Hey, there we go. Frost Slash as well. Do I want Frost Slash, though? I really haven't played it that much since it released either. Because I played it briefly early on, and then I played it again when I ended up picking up Game Pass, and it had that one in there, or I seem to recall. And then it also ended up with Doom Eternal, which I played for a bit. I didn't finish any of them, but it's also not really a genre I stick super hard to, even though they're good games. There we go. Those are skill points that'll be very useful, so we'll take those. Because those are our two primary moves at the moment. There we go. Definitely need all the potions I can get. Gotta focus on that dance to keep from getting grabbed by those things. There we go. Don't explode. Don't get jumped on. Just keep stunning. Just keep stunning. There we go.
I'm in danger.
Nah, everything's fine. The real danger comes soon. There we go, let him explode. See, that's real danger. The fact that the entire room is filling with fireballs, that's a problem. Especially when combined with this guy throwing poison around. This is danger. I'm gonna have to be kind of careful here. Deal with the fire one first, and then we'll go see if I can get a hold of the poison guy without getting melted. It's times like this, though, that I'm real glad we are actually investing in Frost Arrow, because range is gonna be key sometimes. Whew, I thought I screwed up the timing there. We just keep cleaning up the incidental enemies so that I don't get caught up on them when I'm trying to deal with this poison boy over there. Okay. What does this one do again? No. Yes. Since we're going to be aiming for critical hit chance, the increased chance to crit things that are dazed will actually pay dividends. Okay, good. I managed to confuse him. Alright. Everything's fine. That could so easily have gone wrong. Because as you probably saw by how I basically lost all of my health to that poison the first time, yeah, that could have been a real problem. Ooh, actually, yes. This is exactly what we want. Because not only is Winter perfect for being specialized into ice, it'll get us the next tier of Flourish, and it has a bonus specific for enemies that are chilled. So, this is just across the board good things. The move speed, I'm happy about, but it might get us in trouble, because I might miss my positioning because I'm faster than I'm used to being. That may or may not blow up in my face. We shall find out. There we go. One more. I thought I was going to time that so he'd run into it. It's nice to see, though, that we're at a point on Nightmare that our primary threat's back to being elites. That shows that we've actually had some decent growth here on Nightmare difficulty. Because when you first get into Nightmare, the basic enemies will destroy your hopes and dreams so easily. And there it is. I was mashing dodge, but it didn't let me because I forgot a very pivotal thing in this game. And that is, if you get hit once, especially by something like a spread of 3 fireballs, you're probably gonna get hit by all of them because there's just enough hit stun. Oh yeah, I consistently open my mouth and swallow my entire leg. This is how my life works. And frequently I avoid commenting on it, but that one I had to point out. Sometimes. It depends on the day. Day like today, no, I have achieved full Ouroboros with my own leg. Do I want to gamble? We have mostly legendary gear on, but I might be able to get legendary gloves. Oof. We didn't spend that much though, so it's fine. Those are pretty good gloves though. Those are actually pretty good gloves. What do our gloves do? As soon as I can get them selected. That's not my gloves. Actually, I think that's an upgrade. Well, situational upgrade. That's also a situational upgrade. If we specifically have the vulnerable effect, that's actually going to be really good. Let me just quickly go sell the giant pile of gloves I suddenly have. As well as all the other junk we have. Because there is value to non-legendary items. Absolutely. But legendaries have neat effects, and I like playing with the neat effects. That just goes to show how much currency I have, that I can just fill my inventory with gloves. But of course, you know, that also shows the legendary drop rate, in that we didn't get one. Extra damage over time is not bad. I don't know if I'm actually gonna bother keeping that. Assistant skill damage is interesting. I've never seen that, I don't think. This is also a good way, though, to see a lot of the different ways the items can roll their stats. Or in this case, a good way to see how all of the items can end up disappointing you. See if we can roll like a yellow boot or something. These can't roll legendary regardless. You know what, now. We'll go ahead and switch to Berserker for a bit now. Oh, instead. Need to put these away because inventories are shared between the two characters. I do want to keep the Ruan's Will, I just don't want the axe. Let's see, what do you got going on right now? Core skills cause bleed. Physical damage. Because this was back before they combined physical and magic damage into one. Oh, you're already wearing a Ruan's Will. Yeah, and the one you're wearing is better. So just go ahead and put that in storage then, never mind. Yeah, we haven't played on Nightmare too much with the Berserker, so we might actually want to try to roll some better gear for him before we go out. Otherwise, he might be in a little bit of trouble. A little bit of trouble. Pull some shoes, some belts. Couple rings. Said a couple rings. We'll keep the armor he's got. I do want a couple of secondary weapons, because the legendary sword's fine. And we already grabbed a couple boots. A couple more gloves. Okay. Some of these should be worthwhile, and they're, of course, going to just be significantly more armor, which is part of the point. Yeah, these are just better, so we put those on. Projectile damage is an interesting one, but not helpful. Basic skill damage is a pretty good choice, though the physical damage straight up one there is also good. 9 strength is tempting. I think, though, I might actually just keep the ring I have because of how... I'm not sure how much of a difference that strength amount actually means anymore. Yeah, because your strength immediately goes into what your armor is. But I forget what the actual calculation for how much your skill damage is influenced. Like, it's something on the order of a quarter of it, considering it's 16% when we have 81. So it's less than a quarter. Interesting that we have a convenient, nice, even 400 combat power right now. Which is, of course, about to change, because I'm gonna change out more of our equipment. But it's just a neat little number to have a nice round amount of. This one does physical damage, so we'll lose a little physical damage in exchange for more armor. I think that's fine. We already changed the boots. The rings I'm feeling indecisive about. What does the legendary one we have do? Actually, I don't think that matters. I think I'm better off exchanging that for something else. At least until we get a better version of it. A 3% damage reduction does occur to me as an option. In case anybody's like, I wonder if he realizes he probably should take that. I've thought about it. I'm not doing it, but I have thought about it. I just want it to be noted that I did consider her being smart, and I have chosen not to. Yeah, we'll take the advanced Falchion for the moment. And basically this entire inventory can go away. We'll just quickly break down the legendary out of this pile because it's not worth anything anymore. And then we'll sell everything else. And onward and outward we go once again. I feel like we're probably still a little under-geared, but we should be able to sort that out by picking things up at this point. Take note that the Berserker fills his meter rather than starting with a full meter and then spending it and then having to refill. He's kind of got a rage mechanic going instead of mana, as you'd expect from a Berserker. Right now, yeah, our damage isn't great. Usually I am actually finding that the Berserker is better than the Spellblade, so once we get him caught up, he should end up surpassing. And yet, Madness is our resource. Arguably, I should go for Frenzied Strike, because that's the one that's benefited by one-handed weapons. And Heavy Blow is kind of slow from what I remember. So it's basically between Frenzied Strike and Rip-Off. Rip-Off gives bleeding, but we don't need that because we already have a weapon that does bleeding. So yeah, Frenzied Strike it is. And as we hit things, we gain attack speed with Frenzied Strike anyway. So it all works together pretty well. Let's see. This would in theory be good, but it's not actually as good for me. Is my resource consumption's not really gonna be a major issue unless I go for a very specific setup that I can remember. And I'm probably not doing that on Nightmare. I think I'll just take the safer play and take the Mark of the Caravan. Yeah, the constant double-edged sword of explaining things is you will very frequently jinx yourself about things as well. This still didn't get rewritten, I can see. When basic skill hits an enemy, there is the critical chance by 5%. We do want Rising Fury, though. Because if I'm understanding the sentence that's presented there, it's raising your critical chance when you're hitting things. I just don't know whether it stacks or if it's just a constant refill. Because not everything that stacks will show an increasing number down there, but you do see it resetting the durations. But yeah, the current danger with this setup is the fact that we have to kind of sit here and hit an enemy repeatedly. And that's going to be dangerous to do once elites start coming into play, considering they will have kind of scary effects when you're near them. I'll take the max life over the max resources right now. His resources are just, in this case, the madness bar on the right. It's not really a huge concern to us at the moment. Later on, I am probably going to want more madness, but there's usually pretty good madness generation for the Berserker, so I'm not super concerned about that. I might grab that. We'll see what things look like over here. That gets me yet more max health, and it gets me satiation. Which, for those that didn't spot it, that's what satiation does. Your max life keeps increasing the more you drink health potions and eat food. Which is another reason why you actually, theoretically, optimally would come over here first, then go back to the food. In case you get satiation and things like that. Or we could get Merchant and start getting money every stage. The problem is, it's only 5% every stage. What you really want Merchant for is getting that second one, which cuts the cost of everything in the camp by half. Then you start buying everything, and you start getting stupidly strong. As it stands right now, the attack power boost from this is still tempting in and of itself, but I think this is the play. Out of the options we have here. Got any cheap skills? You do. You got Blood Axe, or a level of Frenzied Strike. Go ahead and give me the level of Frenzied Strike. And now we're too poor to buy food, so it's time to go. But this is the speed up on Frenzied Strike in play. As you can see, we were steadily speeding up till we hit a plateau. Ooh, you actually have... where was this earlier? This would have actually gotten us the increased crit chance. Whenever you have less than 80% life, you get attack speed. That's kind of what we're aiming for a little bit. I'm not a fan of less than X amount of life, especially on this difficulty. But we're very frequently going to be under 80% probably. So I'll give it a shot. Just turn our blades into a blur of speed. And then die. Because that's what's most likely gonna happen. Our flame will burn bright, but I'm not convinced how long it'll burn. The good news is the Frenzied Strike bonus lasts just long enough that we can dodge and keep doing it, and it'll keep rolling. We just, of course, have to be careful. Yeah, and I can't use a potion at full health just to trigger satiation. Which of these is the one I want? Like, Frantic Chain is the one I would theoretically want, especially because we could break it like I did before. Because, fun fact, there was, at least, I don't know if there still is, a bug with Frantic Chain where you could break the animation such that you constantly have the spin attack happening around you, as if you're spinning, but you're able to do everything else still. We broke that horrifically by accident once, and I've not tried to recreate it at any point. I have no intention of doing so on purpose. I don't know if it ever got patched out. I didn't look. Yeah, this gets a bonus from two-handed weapons, which we're not using, so I won't go for that. I feel like having Madness Wave as a ranged option might be the smartest choice here. This Rending Spin is good. I feel like Madness Wave's a safe backup. Oh, I should have switched the Ruan Wills I'm wearing. I just realized this one only gives +1 skill points, the other one gave 3. I am a fool. Because I just looked at it because of the fact that it was only showing +1. Dang it. 0 out of 10, worst run. Disappointment. Ow. And that's gonna be the other issue with spamming Frantic Strike, by the way, is I am gonna get myself locked in my own animations, kind of like what happens to like Dual Blades and Monster Hunter and things like that, where you can easily end up with your animations playing just long enough that you can't do anything when something bad is about to happen, and you just get to watch the pain walk over your way and then suffering. You know, you just gotta be mindful of what your main weakness is. There we go. Yeah, we need to spend one more skill point to get up here. which we do actually want at least one of these. I know I had both of these when I had the broken run going, because we were able to save space because we didn't need very many skills. We were just going crazy. These are core skills, by the way, so hitting things with Madness Wave would then give me attack speed that I could then roll. Did they put you in a rubber room? And was the rubber room full of rats? That relies on critical hits, and we're not there yet. But once we do get there, though, the healing, which I think was part of how I broke Frantic Chain, is I was then healing off of it as well. Yes, I want Enrage. Yes, 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 yes. More attack power and move speed whenever I trigger Enrage. Yes, 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 yes. Well then. Though, I have no idea what they mean by strong skills, considering nothing is listed as a strong skill. Another bit of translation potentially going wrong there. I mean, out of these options, it's probably my best choice other than the Dwarf King's Whetstone. Which the Whetstone's also very good. His balance would also increase our attack speed. Which is actually a good point. But legendary artifact. Legendary. I was wooed by the shiny thing. Yeah, when you see the creepy face floating over my head, that's what shows that I'm enraged. So expect to see that, like, constantly now. Because that's basically going to be the main source of our power going forward, probably. Nom 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 through everything. Now, which of these two do I want right now, though? His Bloody Berserk costs us health, but we gain... Actually, no. No. They both give madness per second at the same rate for the same time. It's spelled out differently, but they achieve basically the same effects. This one gives more attack power, and this one... Right, the advantage of Bloody Berserk is it can stack once you get Deepening Bloody Berserk. That's the thing. I was trying to figure out what the advantage was again, because it's been too long. And we do gain benefits when we're down some of our health. Yeah, that was the benefit to Roar, is you guarantee Enrage. And there's the play with Bloody Berserk, is taking lower damage, yeah. So we'll take Bloody Berserk. We just need to get another skill point to make it safer to use by getting that damage reduction. There we go. Why wait for the enemies to hit me when I can hit me and still become just as angry for some reason? keep seeing the yellows and oranges and hoping it's the skill point one, and then being summarily disappointed. Do 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 do. Time to cut down the tree again. Do 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 do. Quit running, coward. How can a tree run from me anyway? Ow. No, 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 no. No. Bad. No, sir. Refuse. Nope. Couldn't dodge that fast enough. I should just jump over that instead of dodging out and then jumping. Yes, perhaps. Ow, ow. Whee! I've never figured out a good method for avoiding the spike attack. Like, I could try just jumping in place to just jump over the spikes as they come up, but that's shown mixed results too. Because they just are so constant. Ack. There I go again, attacking just a little too long. Just read the pattern. And resume lawnmower. Ow. This is fine. The more potions I burn, the more satiation I gain. This'll work out. It'll be okay. You wouldn't think a lawnmower would be able to defeat a tree, but well, here we are. It's a really big lawnmower. Ooh, new armor. New shiny thing. When a core skill or mastery skill hits an enemy, there's a 7% chance to summon a lava hydra for 7 seconds. The hydra shoots fireballs at nearby enemies, dealing 490% of your attack power as damage. Up to 5 hydras can be summoned. Neat. And it actually would pair pretty well with the Madness Wave. Is presumably, since it's when it hits an enemy, each enemy hit by Madness Wave would then separately trigger the 7% chance. And it is a higher armor value. And we're not really getting much benefit. Well, no, because this does 20% armor on top of the armor. So which one's actually going to be more? Yeah, the 20% actually means that this one's more armor. So I'd only be getting benefit from the Hydras, and I'd rather have the one skill point. And I think. So it looks like it... Oh no, it is working. It's just not showing properly on each of them unless you hover over them. So it's fine. As long as it's working, that's the part that matters. But we got to see a new legendary, so that's cool. It might actually work better on the Spellblade because he's got more attacks in his core skills and mastery skills that'll hit larger amounts of targets. That would then have higher odds of actually working. And they both end up with pretty decent attack power, so it's not like that'll be that much of a concern. Buy a couple potions to bolster up the fact that I spent a bunch of them. 30 armor is not a bad idea. 20% chance to make enemies vulnerable. And then I could get vulnerability, which will guarantee vulnerable on basic hits. Ooh. But I would need to get another thing with vulnerability on it. Let's look at the skill points before I decide that. Blood Axe, Madness Wave. Ring of Blood is pretty good. I'll take the Madness Wave, roll it once. Cruel Strike's pretty good. Frenzied Strike we have. We can go ahead and grab that. Yeah, because I can build up our attack speed and then go into Cruel Strike, so yes, we want that. Because the higher your attack speed bonus, the higher the damage Cruel Strike does. So you basically rev up the lawnmower and then slam it into something. Editor's note, do not slam lawnmowers into things. It tends not to end well. It's a little bit messy at the moment, but it's working. Ooh. The only serious issue this has at the moment is the fact that I have to kind of commit to the bit here in order for things to work, which is dangerous. Especially when they catch you behind them like this. That sometimes happens. It is definitely not a game without any bugs in it at all, as I've definitely demonstrated. That Poison Elite's gonna be an issue. This one is also a problem, but not as much. Because the main thing with the Lightning Elite is you just gotta keep moving. As long as you don't stand still, he's not too scary. The Poison guy could just happen to catch you out because you just stepped just the wrong way, dodging something else, or even dodging him, and he put poison on the ground. So this one is being weird, and I'm not going to explain why until he's dead. We've had enough jinxing today. There we go. I don't know why he didn't fire his poison projectiles. It might have been a different kind of Poison Elite. I forget if there's more than one kind of some of those or not. Yes. Yes. While enraged, higher crit chance. Yes. Yes. Have you considered yes? Because I have. In this case, I agree. Possibly. Ceremonial Sword for just flat extra damage, and it would get me Fury, which pairs perfectly with what we're doing. With how little we're using our resources and how fast we're gaining them, 30% increased attack when I'm at 60% or more might be ridiculous. But the synergy isn't great. It's good for the Forlorn Hope, but we're not doing surveillance. Because we don't ever stop attacking. We do want to have extra damage to bleeding enemies, and we do want assassination. So this is a very potent choice, especially since bleeding enemies will have a 10% higher crit chance against them. A 25% attack power just guaranteed across the board. And aggression is going to be very good for what we're doing. And fury. I think we take this. Like, those two were both very good choices.
I'm in danger.
I was just standing there picking items, ABC. I don't think there was any danger there. If anything, everything else is in more danger now. This is me being in danger, being in the grip of one of those claw creatures. That's danger. Keep the vulnerable stacks on them so I can just keep on ripping. You want to join the pile too? That's fine. I got 2 swords, one for each of you. Ow! I'm out of potions. Don't let that guy hit me again, or I'm in trouble. Because that's what that purple effect was. He put... Oh, we're dead. We are super dead. No? We actually lived that. Huh. I am surprised. Happily surprised. But now I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do about this situation. Because we have a little bit of a problem. If this was a higher than 20% chance, I'd take Bloody Saw instantly right now. Because we could then leverage Cruel Strike to have health. But I don't think that will work. I don't think there's anything else that will get me back health right now. I don't think any of our moves have lifesteal. Now these don't matter because I would be replacing my basic attack and we don't want to do that at this point. We're in a bad spot. We have 8 hit points in a dream right now. And the dream is in great danger of dying. Give me offensive thrust. Because having a stun might buy us enough time to do things. Like that. Potion? No potion. Okay. I am concerned. Greatly concerned. Okay. We got out of the stage with 8 hit points. Unfortunately, I don't think potions count as currency, so we're probably not getting any potions out of there, so we may as well just take the artifact and hope for the best. This doesn't help. This doesn't especially help. None of these help. Because this is great, except we have no means of applying Jolted to begin with. Otherwise, this would be perfect for what we're doing. This does extra damage to Jolted and has the same problem. It has a very minor critical chance increase. Oh yay, 3.5%. And then there's this one. I don't think I need to explain the problem with this one. I guess I'll just take the attack power increase. Now, there's a very simple reason why we're screwed here, though. And it's the fact that we're at the boss with 8 hit points. My choice didn't matter. Because unless I do this fight completely hitless, which isn't happening, I'm just gonna tell you that one right now. I have never fought this thing and never been hit by it. Yep, that's exactly the thing. We are dead here. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna try. But I'm just saying, don't hold out much hope here. There it is. I timed the move wrong. I thought he was gonna land as I got there so I could get some hits in. And he did, just not quite the way I intended. He landed on my head as I got there. But we have enough shards to actually make a new legendary, so we can buy into a better weapon for him. And swap out the armor. Each bleed you inflict. Ooh. That's kind of neat. I don't think we've had Thorn of Agony yet. And it'll be a very different build considering it's a two-handed weapon. Yeah, sure. Give that a go. Oh, but I need a two-handed sword to turn into it. So hang on, I need to go get a two-handed sword. Do I have any? Oh, I do have a Thorn of Agony already. I just completely forgot I had it. Well then. But the only two-handed swords I have are already legendary. And I don't think it lets you reforge them into a better one. We can try. Yep. Only magic or rare grade. Let's see if it lets me walk back in here, because I genuinely don't remember. I've always treated it as I come in here when I start off of After of Death. I don't remember if this seals up behind us or not. It does not, so yes, we can just go back in. Okay, then I can just go get us a two-handed sword and make the thing. Okay, that's fine. That's perfect. Definitely grab the potion. Let me see if there's actually a two-handed sword in the shop. Of course there isn't. There's only a two-handed axe. Well, gambling it is then. You saw that I tried to avoid having to do this. There we go. There's a two-handed sword of blue quality there. The advanced claymore. That'll do. Now, before distraction kicks in, I'm gonna run back in there, make the thing. Because otherwise, brain's gonna sidetrack off the second I start doing anything else. I already know how this works. I have lived this life too long. Actually, can I make... while I'm in here? No, I'm missing two runes to make a better Ruon's Will. That's fine. Okay, 66 attack power, advanced Thorn of Agony. It raises intelligence, which is sad. But we can re-roll that. Bong. Put this away. Put the old... oh no, we should grind down the old Thorn of Agony. We'll keep the advanced falchion for the moment, because it'll be a good pairing weapon for any other one-handeds we use. But this one can be ground down. We'll go ahead and grind down the old Ode of Bleeding too, because it's only a level 8. It's kind of locking us into the two-handed path at the moment, but that's fine. Got a nice big AoE to the chop there. Actually, how good is... Ooh, actually... How much was this again? Nah, it's only a 1 point difference and the sword is faster. So I'll keep the sword. We'll pull on everything else we're carrying and then go back out. I would worry about doing upgrades, but I'm pretty sure there's literally nothing I can spend my money on otherwise. Nah, I like the potion I grabbed already. You can only have one potion at a time. Yeah, let's try re-rolling this, though. There we go, 11 strength. Immediately better. It's kind of bad that it only has the one modification on it, and you can't add modifications to things. You can only re-roll the ones that they have. But at least now it's on the correct stat. Which... you can see where the stat leaning is on the Berserker that I have set up right now. It's a pretty obvious stat leaning. What is other stat other than strength? I know the power of smack. Whack. Whack. And yes, this is almost certainly exactly why I'm having as much trouble in Nightmare as I am. But this is how I've chosen to do things. One day I'll be smarter. Today is not that day. And I don't know if it makes it better or worse for people that I actively am aware of the fact that I'm doing this a foolish way or not. Oh hey, a two-handed sword immediately. Well. So let's see, my choices are Rip Off or Heavy Blow, because Frenzied Strike only benefits particularly with one-handed things. Like, technically I could Frenzied Strike anyway, but variability. Let's take Heavy Blow because it has a chance to stun. I did forget to switch the armor. As soon as I saw that one skill point, I immediately realized my mistake. Oh well. I wanted to try the new sword, and well, we're trying the new sword. We're just, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, trying it in the exact same conditions as the last one. Yes, Pot of Greed. It won't let me draw any cards, but it'll let me draw plenty of blood. Yeah, this stun is gonna pay dividends. Very, very big dividends. Ooh. I'm actually just gonna keep raising that right now, though, because the attack power increase. That's a trick you can do with Heavy Blow, by the way, is you technically attack slightly faster when you're attacking with it in the air, because there's less wind up to that animation. So you can just kind of like short hop and swing against a target that's tall enough for that to work. I think it does less damage though. So if I remember right, jump attacks just straight up do less damage in this game. Because of trying to discourage shenanigans like that. So it's a trade-off whether you want the speed or the damage. see. Beast would work pretty well. Especially once we get it up to 4 and actually do the extra attack that deals the 50% of attack damage. The 80% increased attack power would also be beautiful, but I don't think I've ever managed to max Beast out because there's not that many artifacts that I've seen with Beast on it. Alternatively, I go for something like Balance, but attack speed's not going to be that great for Big McSlow Sword. Surveillance we could technically go for because of the increased damage while not attacking, because we're not going for max attack speed this time. But I think I like the idea of Beast and Satiation more, especially since this gives us a life increase, which we kind of need. There's only so Glass Cannon you can go when you're using a slow weapon. I'm not gonna buy a key right now, even though I do really want a key. Ooh. The Warrior's Prayer returns, conveniently giving me Beast bonuses, so I'm glad I didn't spend any money, otherwise we wouldn't have been able to afford that, and I would have been very sad. We might actually be going somewhere. What do you got for me? Talent or Assassination? We've taken those a lot. Give me something else. Well, piss. Surveillance it is then, so that at least kicks in. You'll notice it stacks actually reasonably quickly, just walking up to an area. That's why Surveillance isn't bad, it's just better on things that don't attack often. Because it gives you a good starting attack, basically, into a fight. 50 life or a whole other potion. I will take the whole other potion because it gives more than 50 life when you use it. It means we're less likely to get out of one-shot territory to certain things, but we should find plenty of other options that'll get us the extra health. Keyword should. And leveling, of course, will get us health as well. There we go, I managed to hit him before he warped away. I mean, I could just commit to the bit and just go full big whack. But I feel like we do need a backup option. And Blood Axe is perfect for that since it deals increased damage with a two-handed weapon. And also fits the role of big whack. We basically just have a build of big whack into bigger whack. Ow. I'm glad I stunned him on that hit, or that would have been really bad. Kind of like that one was. No. Just another level immediately. We want Vampiric Blood Axe. A concept. We have gotten 3 Beast already. The game wants this to happen. And it's going to... I see what might happen here, and I'm just not going to finish that sentence. I'm so glad we dodged while we were frozen. Oh my god. That was almost so bad. And while that wasn't what I was afraid of, that was on the list of things that were definitely likely to be a concern. But with Blood Axe, I do probably want to raise my health, actually, because it does extra damage based on health. Do I want Roar? I'm gonna hold that thought for the moment. I gotta remember that our main attack has a huge vertical area to it for arguably no reason. I'll take the advanced soul gem. 2 skill points, yes! Yes! This is exactly what I was hoping for. One more heavy blow. Now we go up here. We get Frantic Whirlwind, which shoots out giant death spikes, which is not exactly what I expected when it says Spikes of Pain. Though, thinking about it, that definitely fits the bill of Spikes of Pain. Just, you know, larger spikes of pain than expected. Safety heal before we go in there. Now, how is this gonna work out? Clean out most of the minions. Don't need to worry about that guy at the second, because he's not a mage. And you know, that'll just happen to him anyway. And there we go. Another Chimera's Belief. Okay, that would have, again, been great earlier. Which, did we even... Yeah, I guess that is an upgrade. Not entirely, though, because we lose 13 strength. So technically, we are only gaining 5 armor because we lose 13 strength armor. So that's actually not that much of an upgrade. I don't think I'm switching. I literally saw that text pop up just long enough to reach for the mouse to ban them, and then Seribot got them. The joys of Seribot. Keeping those stupid view botters at bay. Which Seribot is a free service that anybody can sign up for. That I do highly recommend anybody that streams should sign up for Seribot. It keeps a lot of problems away. It's very helpful. This is very good. That is a very good belt. Considering it gives me 24 vitality, which is basically 5 times the vitality we had. Sadly, no. It does not have co-op at all. And I think I've shown you this game before. Or at least I think you came in once when I was playing this before. But this is definitely one of those ones that very much flew under the radar. Of course I get the sensor of intelligence when I'm the Berserker and won't use it. Thanks, game. Love that for me. Offensive thrust is still very useful. And not having to spend a skill point on it would be very good. Yeah, go ahead and give that to me. Being able to just buy skills remains one of my favorite things in here. Couldn't reroll that. Oh, that's a shame. Ah, well. Yes. Yes. Because one of our main attacks benefits from having higher max health, so we can leverage that. We can leverage that. Do chop. Pop. Pop. This is why I say the Berserker is stronger for the most part, though. Because now that he's relatively evenly geared with the Spellblade, we kill faster. They have the same time to kill as far as them getting killed for the most part. You know, barring building them smarter than I do in terms of survivability. That, of course, is going to always be a variable. But glass cannon-wise, our direct damage is stronger here, but of course, you know, we're also using a big two-handed weapon, so burst damage is paying dividends. Yes. Yes. Give me more ways to enrage. Give me more ways to enrage so I hit even harder. And just the sheer coverage we have right now. Just keep him stunned. Yeah, I would absolutely love this game to get multiplayer, but I don't think it ever would. In part because balancing this in multiplayer would probably be a nightmare. We do use our core skill a decent amount. But we do have a percentage increase to our armor as well, so 30... Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah, netcode is a bitch. That is just a fact. There are ways to make it easier these days, but that also depends on what you're working with to begin with. And I think this... I don't know what this is running in anymore. Once upon a time, I would have known the answer to that question. I mean, yeah, this is Operation Big Whack, so... biggest whack we could get. Big whack. It's nice to be just trouncing things on Nightmare difficulty now. It's gonna backfire, but I'm satisfied for now to be doing this much damage. I need to stay away from that elite, though. The one that's got a purple. Of course I am. It's going well, therefore I have to shoot myself in the foot somewhere, somehow. Alright, ABC, you have a good one. It's no fun if I don't jinx it. Because then things actually work out. We can't have that. Yeah, the flavor is getting kind of stale now with how often I've eaten my own foot. There we go. There's gonna be another bonus right there. If I manage to kill with beheading, I get healed. Oh, they want this to go places. They're giving me skill points. Oh, this is the best day. Max out Big Whack. Start working on maxing out other Big Whack. Yes, yes. I've been looking for those skill point gems this entire time, and this run has gotten all of them. Something so wrong about that. Get away from him before he slams. Slam him. Drag him around a little bit. Ah, I should have dragged him at that moment. That was exactly the wrong time to do that. As it threw off dodging his slice. Nope, caught that one with my teeth. Same with that. That was all bad. Yeah, this fight is still walling us for the most part. Because he's just so damn tanky on Nightmare. Missed the beheading. That's such a shame. I thought I got out of that. I misread the move there. This is getting bad. Ooh. Push him over so it's easier to avoid that. Shit. It's gonna be close. Don't overdo it. Don't get greedy. Got him. Whew. Every potion I had. Every goddamn potion I had. But we got a new rune finally. Ooh. Ooh. And a new sword. Ooh, that's really good, but absolutely wrong for the setup we have. But I know what the next run's gonna be now. It's gonna be another Madness Wave run. I need to see what that does. Like, obviously, I see exactly what it says it does, but what it's actually going to do in practice is going to be something very different. We actually got out of the cave this time. Oh. So now to go to the place that actually walled me on normal for a while. Because usually we got out of the cave pretty well on normal. After the first, like, time or two where we fought the spider and died. I don't want any of that at the moment. There's another item that gives beast. There we go. And it also increases bleeding damage, which isn't the biggest thing for this setup. But now every time our core skill hits, we get an extra attack in from it. Which admittedly, the only core skill we're using is Blood Axe. But Blood Axe is also one of the main skills we're using. So it works out. I don't have any space left anymore. Otherwise, I would take either Roar or Berserk. Whirlwind's the one we're using, so give me an upgrade for that. I do really want the Great Sage's Journal. Do I have any room left? I do. Then yes, I'll take the Great Sage's Journal. His 10% more gold and experience and just flat extra damage is too good to pass up. Like, that has no synergistic benefits, but it's just good. And here's where they start throwing some more of the grotesque enemies at us, if I remember right. Things get kind of weird in here. Like this thing. It's not, like, way out there, but it could be unnerving for people, especially since they just kind of explode. Yeah, it's one of those just, you know, brace yourself a little bit for weird. Because this game has no shortage of it. These things are dangerous. They need to not get to do anything, ideally. Like, obviously, as I've mentioned before, everything on Nightmare is kind of dangerous. But there are certain enemies that are just, like, way more dangerous than the rest. Oh, this is bad. This is so bad. Everything about this is bad. Yep. There was nothing to be done about that the second I got frozen. I was SOL. Surrounded by the most dangerous enemies in that area, and frozen, and a fire elite above me. The game just said, no, you're done now. That run's over. Jesus. And that is exactly what I was thinking about when I started to say something earlier and stopped myself. I was about to say, when are they gonna drop the other shoe on me? Because they absolutely were setting me up for it. They're like, here, have all of these nice things that we're going to take away from you later. Yeah, exactly. To be fair, that wasn't the thing I jinxed myself about entirely. But I did jinx myself regardless. You are correct about that. Let's see what Rune 17 does for us. Like I said, it's not entirely true, it's just half true. Unfortunately, the half that's true is the half of a blade sticking out of my spinal column. Wrong way. I keep forgetting that they switch directions when you walk through that door. Because you would think you'd appear on the right and walk further to the left instead of appearing on the left to walk to the right when you go through a left-hand door. Let's see. What uses Rune 17's? Okay, we just need 14 now for Ruon's Will. So that's good. We can make our own Molten Hydra armor now, so that's not bad. And yeah, you can't even craft ones that haven't been obtained anymore. You used to be able to craft the ones you haven't picked up, but they took that away because, like, you know, people are just gonna make all of them, so there's no finding anymore. And it made sense, and I think I even made that point before. Yeah, it looks like 17 doesn't get us much, but it gets us close to some things. It's tempting to make Monoxen's battle helmet, because the damage reduction when you get hit is kind of nice, but it does rely on you getting hit the first time. And very frequently right now, we're not surviving that well after our first hit for long. And I want to get the other one's will back out, because that would have made a huge difference towards our success, with it being 2 more skill points for everything. That would have made all of our skills stronger. Okay, I need to remember, I'm aiming for Madness Wave now. Which thankfully we can get pretty quickly. And it is a good skill. I guess just for basic attack variety, I'll show off Rip-Off with this run too, even though there's no particular benefit to it with the setup we're going for. Now the one I have is fine. Technically, I should try to fish for a better ring and probably a better amulet as well. Which we're still wearing level 8 other parts too, but these are more readily replaced. He says, knowing that that's not going to work out again, but it's okay. Anyway, we have a few rings now to pick from. Core skill damage is pretty good, especially with the build we're going to be going for. That might actually be a winner. I do actually need to make room, potentially. Ooh, 17 strength. Okay, that's swapped with that one. That's fine. So just discard that one for the moment. This way I have room to do a thing here. Now I want to take this ring off so that the other one goes into the correct slot. Otherwise it'll sit there and just keep cycling those two back and forth, and it'll just get very annoying. Ooh, that's good vulnerable damage and good core skill damage. And I think Madness Wave applies vulnerable, doesn't it? Or can anyway? So that's currently a front runner right there. That one is a good one. So I'll put that on until I find a potential better one. Flat physical damage. Mastery skill damage also has potential. We could lean into like Beheading or Ring of Blood. No, I think the rings I just put on are the winners here, and everything else gets sold. I think they are planning on adding a way to like boost the village, but I don't think we can do that yet. Yeah, and she sells accessories, but there's never a reason that I've seen to bother to come in here to buy her accessories. don't mind as all the shops follow me around now. That's a bug that's been happening, and it's certainly fascinating. Yeah, there's nobody in here. You know, just collect all of the icons and bring them with me. Is there anything else I wanted to change? I changed the armor. I could theoretically dig for a better amulet, but we can always hope we get one dropped. They really are trying very hard to make their sales, yeah. I'm reminded of the artists on Twitter, which is exactly why I'm also not buying anything from these people. Oh, hey, a necklace. What do you know? Instantly. Just not a good one, but instantly a necklace. Get rid of these two, then I'll grab our skill. There we go. Big swing. But yeah, also note the fact that we basically go from level 1 of it to level 4 immediately. This is why the 3 skill points is nice. Just keep chopping, just keep chopping. I forgot how good Ripoff was. It's the opposite of a ripoff. But you would expect it to be more like a grab attack, where you're actively like trying to rip and tear at things instead of swinging a sword. That is a good one. That is a good one. I don't think I want it. Getting up to a potential 150% damage sounds great until you realize how often are you going to see enough legendary artifacts for you to break more than one of them down. Ooh, the Blessed Quiver. 50% chance to boost my highest stat by 15 for 5 seconds when I hit things. I mean, and I do like talent. Assassination's not really going to be a thing we're going for here. But the rest of that is a winning choice. Bear in mind, our strength, which is our highest stat, is only 60. So it's basically a 25% increase on a 50-50 chance. It of course won't directly turn into 25% more damage, but it is both more damage and more armor. And I've already sung the praises of the stat bonuses from talent often enough. There we go. We technically have max Ripoff already. Though we could always push Ripoff up to 8. Mastery damage, core skill damage, intelligence. We'll take the core skill damage out of those 3 choices because our main thing we'll be going for is a core skill. Don't need any of those things, but you need these things. Goodbye. We don't have much money right now, which is a little bit sad. Out of an interest in getting talent, I could grab that, but what are those skill points I could buy? No. I'm tempted by Frantic Chain, but I'm not gonna take it. It's kind of a personal compulsion after the way we broke it before to not take it again because I don't want to break it again and become kind of unstoppable. I don't want either of those. I don't really want either of these either, but I guess I'll take Nirvana. What a shame. Sometimes those synergy bonuses just roll the worst things, and we just have to live with it. I need all the potions I can get. I've already proven that time and again. There we go. And now we have reach. Okay, triple wave isn't crazy, but it's pretty good. It certainly fulfills what I'd hoped for it, which is it gives us a decent ranged option. And that's gonna be potentially the kicker here, though, is the increased attack power after using it. Because I'm assuming the attack power increase will happen the second the skill is used, which, even if that means the first wave that hits something doesn't get the bonus, hopefully the second two will. And we also can get the attack speed bonus tied into using Madness Wave. And yeah, it triggers the second the attack is pressed, so I can definitely make that work out very well. It might be a good trick to get both Roar and Bloody Berserk to stack as much damage on the Madness Wave as possible. That might be fun. Nirvana's all about mastery skills, so it's not really a priority for us with our current setup. Problem is, the rest of these aren't that great for me either. Like, I think I might actually take the Statue of Wrath because momentum is useful. The jolted effect might come into play if we end up with the artifact that gives us jolted effects, like some things. And, you know, we might be able to get a second thing that gives us punishment to randomly strike things with Thunderbolts, too. So, it at least has a purpose, even if it's not the best purpose. And it is the highest attack power boost out of the options. Oh, it's an ice assassin? Oh, you need to die in a horrible fire, sir. Ow. So do I commit to the bit and grab both of these? And we then would just, like, stack all of the attack power bonuses and hurl biggest wave ever. Maybe. Because we can lean into all of the core skill bonuses over here as well at that point. There's an idea here. There's an idea here, especially since Roar will also generate madness, which lets us throw more madness waves. Has the word madness lost meaning yet? Because boy, does it really feel like it, with how much I've said it. You know, it's one of those, you just say a word so much that it stops sounding like a word anymore. Fair. That is a fair point. 6 strength or a skill point? Skill point. What if more skill points? Longer duration roar. I'm just gonna stand over here and scream at this tree until it falls over. Well, that didn't work out so far. Anyway, back to screaming at the tree. Bah! Ow. Ow. Resume. Alright, conveniently he just moved his head over here. That was a choice. Out of the frying pan into the fire on that one, though. And there we go. Longmore is once again dead. Oh hey, we got the longsword of roaring. Neat. I think we've had that one before, but I didn't use it because it just makes roar better. Which, there is a setup for that. Can I actually... It is a legendary one-handed weapon. Can I... I can! That used to not work. You used to not be able to dual-wield legendaries, even if they were one-handed. These two together is actually going to be incredible. Because this also gives a core skill bonus. Oh, this is... Oh, no. I see potential here for shenanigans. The thing is, we're gonna need more crit for this to really start paying off. Because the Longsword of Roaring will keep Roar going, like, ad infinitum, if we do this right. Like, it won't actually make Roar itself permanent, but it would probably make it last long enough that the cooldown would elapse by the time it wears off. That's pretty good. We don't have any means of guaranteeing vulnerable yet, but if we get two things with vulnerability, we could then guarantee vulnerable status on Ripoff, which would then give us the 25% chance to stun things. Do let me know if I'm rambling too fast about some of this, or just rambling too much about the logic I'm rolling through here. Because I know sometimes I'm just kind of zipping along and just going, yep, this could do the thing that does that, this does this, that does that. Sad. Why did this show up after I spent my money? Well, yeah, and if nobody brings it up, I'm just going to assume it's fine. Because the problem with this, by the way, is I can't actually sell items to get gold. Anything I sell in run gets us meta currency rather than gold. So there's literally no way I can get this, which is so unfortunate. Is that 50% chance to deal an additional 100% damage would have been disgustingly good. Which means I may as well just re-roll this and try to get something I use. Which I didn't. Sad. I'm probably only going to do like 1 or 2 more runs though, because bear in mind the stream timer is leading because there was an interruption earlier when everything kind of broke a little bit. So Ow. I thought I could dodge back away from him in time. Turns out, nope. No, that did not work. Oh, this is gonna be bad. You need to die, like, right now. Okay. Whew. That was concerning. Fire and lightning together, my 2 favorite things, but the least favorite things to see here. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay. Things are stabilizing. More core skill damage. Like, if we're fully committing to the core skill move here, I may as well just keep grabbing core skill bonuses. Unless I see skill points or something. Put me down or bleed out. Either one works for me. Just stop crunching me. Let's grab this first. Then I'll start putting more points into Madness Wave to make it stronger. I wanted to grab both of these just so we at least had them active. Because we don't have enough crit to make them consistent yet for it to be worth worrying about putting a lot of points into them. Whoa. Poison Elite. Okay. Oh, but we have the other Poison Elite too. There is in fact 2 of them. One that leaves a poison trail and then one that throws poison shots. Okay. Poison shot is a lot worse. Poison on the ground, that's okay. I'm not that concerned about him. Not when compared to poison on the ground and in the air and everywhere I go is death. Crazy concept, I know. The entire screen turning into death being something I don't like. Usually that's a good thing, but that's usually because I'm the one turning the screen into death, not them. This is definitely a case of a double standard because I would like to live and not have them live. Ooh. Multiple experience bonuses would be nice. Yeah, we don't have either luck or balance going yet. This would get us assassination, even though we're not aiming for it. We could get it, and it would get us a step towards merchant, which is always good. actually, no, we are kind of going for assassination now, aren't we? Because we need crit in order to make the core skill bonuses activate. So no, that does actually make sense. It's one of those, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense, but it does make sense. Blah, 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 blah. Because that made sense, right? That all fit? Yeah. No questions here. We have so little health, though. This might be really bad for me. Like, we have better damage output, I would say. And our damage is arguably safer than it was on the other run, but we have less room to take hits if things do go wrong. Case in point how that nearly killed me straight up. And it's real great when I dash into it like that, huh? On the constant razor's edge disaster here. Damn it! I saw the blade coming, but I thought I could get my dash off cooldown in time to get closer. I should have just backed off. That was 100% my own fault. I should have just waited it out. So close yet so far once again. But getting the longsword of roaring gives me an idea. It gives me potentially really funny idea. But I don't have a weapon to pair with it, other than the Deluge of Madness, which doesn't really do what I'm aiming to do. That said, I could still use the lower weapon. Actually, no, I do have enough to make... Hang on, I have enough to make something. I might have an idea here. I'm gonna have to break my don't use frantic chain rule here for this idea. But this idea might be so good. But also incredibly likely to get me killed. Like, it is a really strong trade-off situation here. And if you're wondering why I lean so far over when I'm looking at this menu, by the way, it's because my microphone is like blocking most of that list most of the time. So I have to kind of tip over here to see it well. Now the question becomes, do I want an Ode of Bleeding? Or do I want a Bloodlust? Yeah, pretty much, exactly. Because I'm pretty sure I can't just have two Longsword of Roarings. Bloodlust would technically be the one that would be ideal for the plan, because it guarantees me generating more madness that I could then continuously loop. But the bleed damage from this... Then again, no, this relies on hitting with a core skill, so yes, Bloodlust is the answer here. But I don't have a high enough grade axe. I forgot that it has to be a certain grade of axe. Hang on. Gotta go get an axe. Then we go make a better Bloodlust. Then we get the bigger boat. Then we go blow up Jaws. You do actually sell an axe, conveniently enough, for a change. Gonna make a better axe. Do, 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 do. You know, it's kind of fucked up if you think about it, that I'm buying this guy's his weapon, and then I'm immediately taking it to somebody to turn it into something else. This actually would have been the perfect ring for the Madness Wave idea. Because then I get repaid every enemy I'm killing, so I just keep rolling. And I really should make a better pendant. But like, the only legendary amulet's this one. And it's a good one, because healing on level up is really good. I just wish there were more. But they will add more. Just gotta wait it out and... Ew. That's the one problem with taking a blue item and turning it into a legendary, is you only get the one bonus to it. We would have to roll for a yellow axe to be able to do anything with this. Which kind of leads to the question of, do I actually go fish for a better axe? The answer is I don't care enough right now. I'm gonna proof of concept this idea first and then worry about making better weapons for it. So let's make that the main hand, since it's the faster of the two weapons. Then we put the Frenzied Deluge Sword away. And on we go. Because this is basically a more advanced version of a plan I've actually tried to use before. What the idea is going to be is, since Bloodlust generates madness off of bleeding inflicted, and we can extend Roar with this, which also generates madness. We start off with Frenzied Strike. It's the safe option to use for generating madness and getting our attack speed and everything up. We go into Frantic Chain. Oh, there's one flaw with the plan, though. There's one very big flaw with the plan. By doing it this way, we don't have a guaranteed method of making things bleed. So the Bloodlust ends up being useless, because this doesn't have bleed on it. This has bleed on it, but it wouldn't add continuous bleeds to make Bloodlust trigger. So I actually need the other sword for that idea to work. I would need to pair the Bloodlust sword with the bleeding sword. Then all my attacks would cause bleed. Dang it. Because the problem is, I don't have enough red shards to make anything now. But I do have a bunch of low-level gear in here. So let's do some math right quick. Anything that isn't level 14 is coming with me. Well, yeah, no, that can go too, because that's not that good. The yellows are in there for specific purposes, though, so I'll leave those alone. This one does give more strength. Why am I using this one? No, that's actually a very good question. Why am I using this one? I think I just didn't realize that that one gave so much strength. So we'll fix that here in a minute. Yeah, that'll definitely make enough shards to be able to fix my mistake. That's the only one that gets spared. Oh no, this is the wrong guy. I need the machine next to the guy, not the guy. This is the only one that gets spared. There we go. Now we have enough soul shards. I should have swapped hats first, because this one was going to get salvaged too. Okay, I just need a good sword now. And I have one on hand, actually. Problem is, we now won't be able to go for looping roar as well, but that's fine. We can loop roar other ways. But we need the madness generation in order to make the spinning work. Because otherwise we spin briefly and then the spinning runs out of juice and it just stops. And it's just kind of sad. That's actually a pretty good Ode of Bleeding. It's not the best it could be because it could be a higher gear level, but it'll do. So put the Sword of Roaring away, we take the Ode of Bleeding. So now we have guaranteed way to cause bleeding with a core skill, which Frantic Chain is a core skill. And as a nice bonus, we cleaned up our storage a lot and got rid of a lot of the weak stuff we were holding on to in there. One way or the other, this is last run. But, well, if it ends up dying instantly, it might not be last run, but you know how that works by now. That's how it always works. Let's at least re-roll that skill cost reduction. I'll take the crit chance for now. No. No. I'm kind of fishing for strength. It's really wanting to give me dexterity, though. The critical chance one isn't bad, and the critical damage also wouldn't be terrible. And arguably the dexterity actually would have been a good idea because dexterity influences critical chance. So the dexterity one would have technically been an upgrade from what we had. There we go. I knew the fishing would pay off. Now we got a nice hefty strength bonus on there. On something that is invariably going to get replaced, but shh, it's okay. Don't think about it too hard. Do you actually get a different animation if I switch the weapons around? Nope. Well, I was assuming it wouldn't be a separate animation because that would be a lot of extra animation work just for when you have a different main hand weapon when you're dual wielding. But they went the extra mile and made so many other different attack animations that it was possible. Owie. And as far as the YouTube upload for this goes, the last time I did Dragon is Dead, I split the VOD up into chunks based on run. Most of these runs, I don't know if were long enough to be individual videos. I'll have to take a look. For anybody that actually watches the YouTube content. There's the logic thought out for that. And honestly, this VOD's not that long. It's only going to be a little over 3 hours for this specific section, so that's probably digestible enough. It would just arguably look better on the analytics if I had a bunch of these, because these seem to do really well on YouTube. So technically a bunch of videos that would all do well would push positive numbers. And number go burr is a good thing. Okay, that was a separate enemy. He was just the same as the one who had just died there, so I thought he just bugged out and didn't die. Go ahead and get Enrage set up as well. Because remember, we can get the ability to infinite spin while enraged. Which I think... that was what I was thinking about, wasn't it? No. I think there used to be a thing where you could use Roar to enrage on command or something. Might be an artifact or some such. Either that or I'm just linking Enrage with Roar because it was more likely to happen when I was roaring because of some combination of effects. I'm honestly not sure. Magic Rampage actually might work here because we're gonna be burning resources like a crazy person. That doesn't, however, help much. What the hell? Why did I just... I see a weird email. Ow. Okay. Useless. Not something I need to care about. It was just weird enough that I'm like, hang on, what did I just see? Let's actually take the Dwarf King's Whetstone this time. The 15% armor increase probably won't come too much into effect because of the fact that we lose so much health on the first hit. But it really depends on how much life we end up getting before that situation happens. This is pretty good, but not necessarily for our current situation. Like, it's one of those, right now it may seem like it's a fantastic choice, but as soon as I get properly going, it won't do anything. Yeah, see how it kind of maintains itself for a decent bit of time? That's the idea. We are aiming for maximum spin to win. Problem is, we are going to be incredibly vulnerable while doing that because we can't move much. And that's why I'm like, this is going to get me killed. But if it works, it's gonna be really cool. I mean, we may as well take the Hot Blood synergy so I at least get a benefit as I get shredded to pieces. with these two options, even though I usually go for all of the potions, I'm actually gonna try the 30% armor this time. Yeah, because that is over 100 more armor. So maybe that'll be valuable? I have my doubts, because I really like having lots of potions on hand. Okay, so far it's seeming effective. And that's with no points in it, technically, because we purchased 1 point. So as soon as we put a point into it, Ruan's Will triggers, and now it starts doing a lot more damage. Because Ruan's Will only affects things you actually put a skill point into. Ow. Oh, no, 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 no. No, sir, you are not burning me today. You shall burn, but not me. And this is another layer to it, is if I start critting on top of causing the bleed, we generate even more madness, which maintains it even more, etc., etc. It keeps on self-feeding, is the theoretical idea here. This is another good core skill damage situation, which if I can get the core skill healing and such going again, there's ways to make this viable in a survivable sense, I think. I just don't know how well it'll work on nightmares, the spooky part of that. I gotta love how it showed me able to open that chest even before I actually picked up the key, just because the game knew the key was there. Because from the moment I opened that box, the key technically existed. Oh wait, no, wait. I still have a key. That means I had a key, but it showed 0+1 when I picked up the other... Ugh. I am confusion, and it's fine. I don't need to understand, I just need to spin. Because now we stack Roar on top of that, and I'll have Madness Generation to help maintain the spin more, and it'll do more damage. Like it all's coming together. Whether it survives, well, we'll see. These are not good for me. This is one of the few times I'm just gonna straight up destroy an item, because none of those were particularly good for me. And this way we have more money for the shop. Okay. I'm just gonna chop a tree down. Gonna start up my chainsaw right now. Oh, I fell off. That's gonna be one flaw with that part of the plan, huh? Ow, 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 ow. As you can see, this is actually decently effective. Like, I've done this bit before, and I knew this works. This is just even better than it was. Because it's more sustainable. At least in terms of the madness generation, it's more sustainable. Survivability-wise, it's not particularly sustainable yet. It's gonna become a question of whether we can actually get to the point where it becomes sustainable health-wise or not. Wait. Oh, hey, we got a bloodlust. Okay, I'm actually gonna test a theory here. Oh, they do let you dual wield two of the same legendary now. Huh. Noted. I will have to keep that in mind for breaking things purposes. Because if we had a way of causing bleed on the spin without the bleeding sword, we could actually, like, double bloodlust and probably get twice as much madness for every bleed. That's actually a pretty good greatsword. I might hang on to that to convert into a better thorn. Really just don't have the health to be playing that game. This, however, this has legs because it both gets me momentum and it gets me that boost that we had from the quiver before. That was oh so helpful. There's another level of frantic chain. And another level of frantic chain. And a free level of roar. There we go. We now have a total... Wait. Do the Ruon's will bonuses and the purchased skill points not stack? Or is it just showing the wrong answer here? I think they don't stack. Well, that's a waste. That is very unfortunate, because I was aiming to have, like, +6 to my frantic chain. Which I guess is exactly why you can't do that. But yeah, the shenanigans I'm doing right now are more or less the reason why I don't allow myself to use frantic chain so much anymore. Is it kind of was starting to become the only thing I used on Berserker. And there's no fun in that. You don't want to become a one-trick pony. That's just no fun. Ah, the burning. Why? Why must you burn me? Was that risky to spin around on the enemy that had just nearly instantly killed me? Yes. Did I have other options? Not really, because that's all I do is spin. It's very negotiable as to whether I win. Oh, there's the Enrage on Roar. There we go. And then you generate even more madness while Roar is active. Yeah, okay. That's how that whole shtick works. So there we go. While enraged, Frantic Chain doesn't drain madness. And now Frantic Chain will just generate madness. Until the enrage wears off, and then it'll hopefully maintain itself afterwards. I've got very silly ideas. It's just a matter of whether they'll pan out or not. Yeah, the only big issue remaining is we still don't have any verticality while spinning. That and the lowered movement in general while spinning is dangerous. Oh, there's a poison thing down there. Ow, God. You need to stop what you're doing. There we go. No, sir. Okay. Apparently, I'm just gonna have to go along with the fact you exploded in my face. Extra max life, dexterity, resistances. Give me some life. I do not have enough health right now, and it remains a concern. There we go, just one more of those and then we'll start being able to heal while spinning. Just engage full barbarian. This is going to be the big filter on this probably, is if I can get past the spider with it. Because it involves having to stay close to it. And staying close to it has been proven very often to be a bad idea. Yep. I should have dashed out, but I just went no. That with how much damage we just took, this was already over. I let that go. Yep. And that'll do it for today. Considering between the two streams, this is at about 5 and change, I think, at this point. I think that's good enough for one day. I will go find us somewhere to be. Because I'm sure we've got people we can go see. Oh yeah, we got options today. We got lots of options. Another one of those wonderful, maybe too many options days. Jeez. Yeah, nope, definitely too many options today. Good lord. I think a full, like, third of my following is all live at the same time right now, and that is an incalculable number. It is totally calculable, I'm not going to. It's just a real shame that I'm more than likely gonna end up picking one of the familiar handful regardless. Because I know how my brain goes. But I'm at least going to look. And while I look, the schedule coming up very much depends on the phone call I make tonight as to whether I have jury duty coming up at all or not. But the current tentative schedule for the week is tomorrow will either be Lethal Company or 7 Days to Die, depending on who's available. Is there are a couple that are a little up in the air as to whether they are or aren't, so I'm going to rework the mod list again tonight just to make sure we have fancy new mods to play with if that ends up working out that way tomorrow. I think I am going to shelve Sigma Star Saga, considering the way it was starting to turn. I was gonna give it more time and more of a chance, but I think I'm just gonna pull the plug on that one for my own sanity. Let's see. So that leaves Monday and Tuesday a bit more open than they were before. I had a thought for Monday. What was it? There was something I had looked at, and I was like, yeah, I'll do that on Monday. And it's gone. I don't know what it was. I'll figure something out. I have plenty of things in the backlog to do. I just need to decide which ones. So there's no concerns there. Something will happen on Monday and Tuesday. Kind of a similar case with Thursday, really. A lot of this week's gonna be up in the air, is the short version. But Saturdays will continue to be one of those two things, unless a great idea pops up. I am gonna poke around and see if I can get some more collabs for next week. I was just waiting to find out what some people's schedules looked like before I asked them things. Because, you know, you can't really plan things before you know what their schedule's like. Because otherwise you'll just be disappointed. But yeah, that basically covers that whole plan, and I'm still looking at the list because, of course, I am, because I'm an indecisive fool that way. Never goddamn fails. It would help a lot if I remembered more of these names off the top of my head, too. Like, I feel bad. I feel bad, but there's a lot of people out there with very similar names. So a lot of them start to run together a little bit. Especially since I can only partially see anybody's icons because most people still have that stupid knock feature not disabled enough that they don't have the thing blocking half their icon. Removing the only other way I have to remember who these people are. Are short of, like, selecting it and listening to them for a minute to remember who they are. Which, that's the curse of actually spreading myself out more, is I end up losing track of who people are. Like, the second there's even the remotest bit of interaction, it will come back immediately, but I need to go past that step in order to understand who they are. A lot of people doing marathons and such. And maybe I'm weird, but I still don't entirely support the idea of subathons and such because they just lead to unhealthy behavior a lot of the time. Like, obviously, the people that cap them and make sure that they take care of themselves while doing it, those are fine. But I have seen so many people just, like, destroy themselves for, like, a week doing a subathon, and I'm just like, no. No. Absolutely not. They can be. Like, they're not an inherently bad thing, and I'm not saying that they are. It's just a very easy, slippery slope to slide into real bad behaviors. You might notice that audio is gone. It's because I'm checking what people are doing and seeing how far along some of these streams are and things like that before I make a committed decision where we're going. I always try to make sure to send y'all to the best I can at the time. Which obviously, a lot of the people that you see me go to decently often, I highly recommend to begin with. And I take that recommendation very seriously. Okay, looks like that one just ended, so that takes that off the table. And part of me is like, oh yeah, I'll just, like, pick out somebody who's playing the same game. No one is playing this game. Hey, look, I'm the only one in the category. what a great idea to raid yourself. Oh wait, that doesn't work, and also no. Yeah, no, I remember the audio on that one isn't great. What is this? This is not often I see something I straight up just don't even recognize. Oh yeah, that looks fun. Sure, we'll go over there. I don't think we've been over to see this one at all. Sure, we'll go over there. It'll be a nice change up anyway. Okay, good, I did find them. I'm like, please tell me I know how to spell this. This is definitely another one I've just kind of fished up from Twitter, etc. ages ago. I have not interacted with them too much, so this one's more of a nebulous raid, but they've seemed good every time I've had the vague interactions with them, so I'm kind of crossing my fingers on this one. Which is why I'm given the thought process there to begin with. But I have no reason in any serious capacity to question anything there, so we're going to give it a shot. So, once again, thank you all for taking the time to be here. Thank you again, Spooky, for the raid, and Zombie, if you're still here, thank you as well. And we already talked schedule, so I'm not going to go back over that again. But hopefully you all have a good night and enjoy watching whatever this cozy-looking game Aldia is playing is, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.